I've been a follower of Christ pretty much my whole life. I remember probably as early as 6, 7 years old, going to church off and on. My parents were believers, but they did not actively go to church, so it was just whenever I wanted to go, and I was able to hang out with friends and make new friends and everything. I was doing good. I would stop going to church, and people, depending on who I hung out with and everything, obviously, things went up and down. And then middle school, started going to church quite a bit more. And then my freshman year in high school, I was baptized at the church I was going to on a regular basis out in Almsville. The youth pastor out there was on me about becoming a leader. And he saw something in me that I never saw in myself. And that kind of pushed me away because he was trying to encourage me more than I was comfortable with. And kind of pushed me away. And then I started going back to church again, but at a different church. Things were going really good. And then I met some people that were going, not for the right purposes, but we became friends. And then I started going back and forth and eventually stopped going to church. In 2001, my wife and I got back together, and she was a regular attendee, and I started going, and she's the one who brought me back to the Lord. I messed up. I fell. I came to prison, or went to jail, and I was arrested on March 4th of 2014. March 23rd, I decided I was going to commit suicide, and I had 3 cellies the entire time I was in county. The first week I had 1 cellie, the next 5.5 months I had another cellie, and then the last week I was there, I had my 3rd cellie. And only one night the entire time that I was celled up with the one gentleman for 5.5 months, that was the one and only night that he decided to stay up late, which I couldn't understand because he always went to bed around 7, 8 o'clock at night. I knew how I was going to commit suicide. I knew what I was going to do. And ultimately, I ended up crying myself to sleep holding onto the Bible. During that night, I ended up having a dream. I believe God came to me and spoke to me, telling me that He wanted me to be a leader within the prison. My dream was being actually inside of a chapel and preaching and teaching other inmates. That morning when I woke up just, I don't even know how to describe it. It was a sensation. I had no burden on me anymore. It was the most comfortable I've ever felt. Just absolutely no anxiety, no stress, no nothing. And I felt like I knew where God was leading me just from that dream. And later that day, I read Psalm 51, and it's a psalm that I've been reading continuously, basically for a week and a half, several times a day. And that day, verse 13 stuck out to me, which was something that I don't recall ever seeing or reading prior to that. And in the version that I was reading, it said, "And you will teach those who've committed lawless acts and bring them back to me." That just hit home with me because, I mean, after everything that happened the night before with feeling like I needed to commit suicide to the point where God spoke to me in the dream, and now reading that, I knew where God was sending me. And from that day on, I don't believe I ever had depression again. It's like I stepped over the line, realized it, came back. That's just where God's been guiding me. That's what I've been praying for. My pastor let me know about the program that was possibly coming about between Corbin and Oregon Department of Corrections. And from that day on, I started praying for not only for the program, but that whatever it was, that I would be able to be involved in it and everything. I got shipped down here on September 10th, and the week before, I know that there was at least 2 other people from my institution that got shipped down here for this program. So I felt like, okay, maybe I didn't get in, but I'll go for it next year. On the night of the 9th, I remember praying, "God, I believe this is where you want me to go, but if it's not, just let me know. Please open up my eyes, ears, heart, and mind to your guidance so I can follow you and know where you're leading me at this point, because this is where I really thought you were going." About 4:30 in the morning, the officer came and knocked on my door and showed me the clear bag, saying it was time for me to roll up, that I was on to bigger and better things. And since then, I've been overwhelmed with joy. I mean, I know I'm not showing it. I'm not one to show my feelings openly, but I'm just excited for this program and what I'm going to get out of it and what I'll be able to share with others once it's completed.